Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Rom-Com Love podcast. I'm Brennan,
I'm Catherine.
and we are so excited and delighted to welcome director Tyler Russell to the podcast today. Welcome, Tyler.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. It's so good to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're
Absolutely.
just so delighted and honored to meet you.
Well, I mean, it's what could be better than talking about romance and movies? And today, I told you I've got my Christmas movie mug. So today
Mm-hmm.
it's all about, Christmas movies.
You said it, my
Absolutely.
friend. Best time of the year.
Sure.
Well, we have so many exciting things we'd love to chat with you about today. And we would just like to first start off with acknowledging yourself and your wonderful mother, Karen Kingsbury, best-selling author. You have worked on numerous projects together that we're going to chat about today. But can you just share a few things as you've watched her build her successful career? Um, as a storyteller yourself, what inspired you to partner with her when you decided to pursue writing and directing?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great starting question because she sort of started it all. Like growing up watching
Mm-hmm.
her create and tell these amazing stories, there was never a moment where I can't remember her not talking about story, whether it was reading us a story before bed or a morning devotion before school. We'd be having dinner and she would say, I think I have a new book idea or a character idea, and we would chat about it. And so I was always inspired. And from a really young age, I started bringing stories to her. I would write short stories or little plays, and she's inspired me so much because she's so tenacious and courageous. She knows what she wants, and when she's given a story or God gives her this idea, she just chases after it and she gives it everything she's got. And what I've loved about that is she's willing to go for it, but also have the boundary to put family and personal things first. And I can honestly say that
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I never felt like we were second place to her work, but her work was just incorporated in everything that she did. And she was always such a supportive, whether it was at a sports game or a play or just a chat, after dinner, she was always present while she was cranking out. I mean, she's written over 50 novels. Like she's an amazing writer. So
Mm-hmm.
the opportunity to work with her felt like such an honor because the idea was, well, let's work together and adapt some of these stories into film and television. And I had when we talked about it, I had recently finished college and I got my BFA in theater, directing for theater, and did some musical theater performance, and that sort of led to doing some screenwriting courses in college and film directing in college. So all of the worlds started to mesh together. And she said, "Well,
Mm-hmm.
you've been doing screenwriting, like maybe we should take a our hand at adapting something together." And it felt like a no-brainer to me. It was a blessing to learn from her, and I got to use, this passion that I had. And then at the same time, these are stories that I've grown up with. So there are many scripts we've adapted that people haven't seen yet. We kind of have built a library of scripts for the future of hopefully more films to come, but I'm getting to dig into these stories that I remember her talking about when I was growing up, and we get to look at them with fresh eyes, and we get to say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, how can we take this story that I know really well and bring it to a new audience or bring it into like a new modern time? And it's just been really fruitful. Like we both learn from each other really well, and we both want to serve the story. So when we're working on something, we put our egos aside, and if her idea is
Mm-hmm.
better, then we go with that. If my idea is better, we go with that. But I've learned a lot from her work ethic and the way that she's very disciplined, which as a writer you have to be because no one can force you to sit down you know and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Oh, Tyler, we both just think it's so special and awesome that you not only are close with your mom, but you've
Mm.
gotten to work with her in
Hmm.
such a beautiful way where you're both getting to do what you love, what you're passionate about, but you also get to spread the messages of faith and hope and love. And
Yeah.
so that just is what a blessing for you and her and your relationship and your work life. That's so awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it has been a huge blessing. And I have friends that, they'll say, I don't know how you go work with your mom. Like I could not do that with my mom. And it is unique. It's a unique relationship and it's a unique collaborative working relationship, but I think we both complement each other with the different things that we bring to the table. And when she invited me to work with her on these projects, she said, I don't know if this will be forever. I don't know if this will be for a few years. Like, I don't know what path you're going to take in the future, but we'll just step out in faith and see what happens. And at that point, I had finished school. I was working on different short films and projects here in town and learning more about film and getting plugged in, and started directing my own, friends' music videos or short films for people. And you just kind of gather this information that then I could take it and say, well, yeah, we do know enough and we do have enough knowledge, and there are amazing people around us who can help make these things happen. And so it's been a huge blessing, and every step of the way has been really prayerful and patient, and just waiting on the green light. If we're supposed to do it, the light will be green, the door will be open, and we'll walk through it. And if not, then we'll wait. And that's sort of been our rhythm every time is, okay, we got this project idea. Is there provision for it? Is the door open? And God's just kind of led us every step of the way, which has been, it's really just a testament to our hard work and his mercy, kind of that collaboration.
Absolutely.
So you started the Karen Kingsbury Productions is what you guys started in 2022, correct?
Yes.
And so the first movie then was Someone Like You for a first theatrical release. Absolutely. Yes. We loved it. We have a real fun story with that one. We actually were complimenting the whole entire movie to the lady at the ticket counter as we were walking out. And the big gigantic standout with the two of them is, is at the door. And she's like, do you guys want this? I don't know what I'm going to do with this afterwards.
Yes.
And you're like, we don't know either, but we're going to take it.
Well, I felt so bad because I was like, I really don't have a place to put it myself, but I've never been asked walking out of the theater. And now I really regret it because we've had the opportunity to meet Sarah virtually this way too. And it would have been like, dang, I almost had a picture of you hanging out.
Oh man. I don't even think we have one. I think our local theater had one up, and then a couple days after, it was like we saw it in theaters and it was up. I saw it in theaters a few times. I went back and I was like, hey, do you guys have that standee still? And they're like, oh, we threw it away. I was like, oh.
Well, don't you worry.
Happens.
We're going to go back to the same theater this movie around, and we'll be like, we're taking it home this time.
We sure will. We thought about it and we're doing it.
That is a funny story. Yeah. Yeah, that movie was so special. I don't want to jump ahead of you, but it's like that really was such a wonderful, again, we're talking about like confirmation, and is there fruit, and is there people who want to see this and want to, support this? And the whole time, I think I was really surprised and excited about how the audience responded. And, it's been really cool.
No, we got no rhyme or reason. It's however the story goes for us too. But yeah, I was because part of the question was that was a limited release, and then the new movie, The Christmas Swing, we're going to talk about, was a limited release too at this point. So obviously the world is hungry for this faith-based and morally good stories. And thankfully the theater world, we're seeing a lot more of it than we ever had. And I would say the last 10 years, but there's still, of course, room for beyond more than we can imagine in that world too. So, how was it for you guys? Because if I'm not mistaken, and okay, if you can't answer this, but you guys did a lot of funding for it to put it into the theaters yourselves, did you not?
Yes.
That was your leap of faith.
It was. Yeah, that was part of starting the production company, was saying, well, we want to be able to, from start to finish, have our hands on every aspect of it. And that meant financially putting up the money and saying, okay, well, this is the risk. It was actually my dad that he had a conversation with my mom and just said, I feel like we need to gamble on ourselves and kind of step out in faith. And if you really believe in the calling and the gift that God has for you, are you willing to step out and kind of not prove it, but in a way say, I believe in this. I believe that there's a lane needed here and that people need this story. And so it definitely was a risk. And when we made it, we didn't have any relationship with Fathom at that point. Fathom Entertainment distributed Someone Like You, and they're also distributing The Christmas Ring. but they they weren't a part of the picture at that point. We totally made it completely independent, um, and just hopeful that if we made a product, if we made a film that touched people's hearts and minds and brought them hope, somebody would say, "Okay, I see something there." And Fathom did, and so we had a long runway with that movie where we shot it in 2022, in the fall of 2022, and it didn't come out until April of 2024. And so there was a long time of editing and tweaking and kind of pitching it to people and showing it to people and trying to find the right partner, because when you make something independently, they have to be in on what you did independently, without their input,
Mm-hmm.
without their and Fathom was an amazing champion of the film.
Mm.
Gosh. Well, that's
Oh,
a God thing for sure. Yeah.
It is.
totally, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
one thing
that's
that's
the and
interesting, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say that's the reminder, because I think that, I mean, I've been a Christian, I think I was 5 years old when I remember saying the prayer. I remember exactly where I was, so I know
Yeah.
that's the moment.
Me too.
And I grew up in it, and I still struggle so much with that leap of faith. And
Mhm.
in such a big avenue to take, that is just, I mean, of course, Karen's got her name behind, the popularity of the books. Who doesn't know the Baxters?
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah. We love the
like, I'm like,
Baxters.
I actually was trying to remember, and you can remind me, is the Baxters the series, was this part of the series when they were the one I remember that sticks out to me is one was a actor, or
Mm.
one was in love with an actor. Was that the Baxters too?
Yeah, there's kind of both. You're right on both accounts. So, big
Okay.
spoiler alert if you haven't read the Baxters. I'll give it a moment. They had a secret sibling who was a Hollywood
Oh,
actor,
okay.
and he
Okay.
was they had put him up for adoption when the mother and father first got married, and he became
Mm,
a famous actor and reconnected with the family. So that Hollywood actor thing was in there, but then later,
mm-hmm.
Bailey Flanagan in like the Flanagan series,
Oh
she
yeah.
ended up falling in love with an actor.
Mm.
So Mama's had several threads of
I was gonna say,
actors and
she finds an avenue to, they're like, they'll be over here on this family tree, and it's working.
right, exactly, exactly. And that's what's funny about the Baxters is she's written so many books about them, and I don't know if she'll do more, but they're so alive to her, and she
Mm-hmm.
always makes fun of herself, like, that she's going to be an interesting older woman one day when she can't tell who the real people are versus her characters, and but they're so
Oh, bless
close
her
to
heart.
her that yeah, like she'll think about what they're doing and like, well, I wonder what would
Mm-hmm.
be happening if this happened to Ashley or if
Mm.
this happened to, and so she's written so much about them, and I think it's what's amazing about a story like that, and I think that's we were talking earlier about When Calls the Heart,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and people see these characters go through so much,
Yeah.
they can relate to them. And
Yes.
the beautiful thing about storytelling is that it becomes a mirror for what we're going through, and you feel like you have a companion, and you feel like you have
Mm-hmm.
somebody who relates to you, and you feel like you have somebody who you're able to encourage or who's encouraging you, and you don't feel
Mhm.
alone. And that's what's such a huge privilege about writing and creating these stories, is because it's a mirror for somebody else to be able to say, that's me. I get
Mhm.
that. I understand that.
Mhm.
And we've seen that with the Baxters over and over. Um, and Mom and I did a prequel series, a kids book series. There's 5 books in that series. And now we're seeing it with kids and families, kids who get to
Mm-hmm.
relate and learn from the Baxters when they were kids. So it's sort of this whole Baxter universe that she's created.
Mm-hmm.
And now, we get to be a part of it too, which is fun.
Oh,
Yeah, you're literally just going to have to extend your family tree to include the Baxters, I
I
think,
think
and
so.
then it won't matter. She'll be like, that
I
story really
mean,
happened.
mhm.
at this
Mhm.
point, it's the line is very gray in terms of
Yeah.
them
No,
being
that's
part of our family.
amazing. And can you remind us, it's on Prime as a series, and it's been is that something that is still continued with new development?
Well, not solidly so. Like,
Oh,
there's been
Mhm.
lots of
okay.
conversations. It came out. They released all 3 seasons last spring, like
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
similar around the same time as Someone Like You, which was
Mm-hmm.
not planned that way. It just sort of worked out that way. Um, but they continue to I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Well, whatever.
Oh, that's
They
okay.
continue to like re-up the rights for
Mm,
for the series, and they just did that recently where they kind of, you know, I forget the official term, but you know, they purchased the rights again to have the
mm,
series. So it makes me wonder if they're planning something else. That wasn't something that we produced or had any part
right.
of, you know. Um, the wonderful Roma Downey produced it and got to play Elizabeth in it, and so I hope there's more because they left everybody on a cliffhanger on the end of season 3. So
Mm.
I'm hopeful, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
okay,
and that,
Tyler. We're used to cliffhangers.
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Well, I'm like, maybe we can, you know, do a Baxter's movie to wrap it all up and kind of give the audience some closure and just tie up the story so that we can at least give it its due. Because I always hate when I'm invested in a show
Yep.
and it gets, you know, canceled or it kind of goes on silent for a while and you're like,
Hmm.
but that's not fair to those characters. Like we need to, and it's not fair for us as an audience. You know, we want to see that happy ending.
Hmm.
You tell him, Tyler, because
Mm.
You tell him, Tyler.
1000%. You're
Okay.
like, excuse me, I do know this.
Yes.
Not just
Like I know what the Baxters need. But maybe, I mean,
yeah,
we talked about a
no.
Baxter Kids series or a Baxter Kids movie, you know. I think if we made something in the vein of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, you know,
Mm,
something that was just for families but had a lot of
Yeah,
hmm.
humor in it, and that's something I've been thinking about this year for sure. So I don't know, we'll see.
that'd be great.
It would be
I
great.
think that'd be a hit.
Oh, thank we'll
Yes.
see. We got one audience. We got one. Catherine, are you in too? Two
No,
audience.
I'm with you. No, I was just laughing because, like you were saying, you're like, I'm ahead of you. I'm like, I don't even know where we are in this because I knew we had so many things. I mean, literally, feel,
I know.
feel
I feel like
like
we're just sitting
you're like,
around having a conversation. It's bouncing all over. So hopefully the audience can roll with this, you know.
I love it.
yep,
That's what we like.
Yeah,
yeah,
We are
that's
good
how
with
we
this.
roll.
that's good. That's good.
We actually had an actress on here one time where she was just like, and she jokingly said this, but she goes, I just prefer a casual conversation. I don't want to, I feel too much pressure. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. So then when I was kind of like trying to figure out how to phrase a word, she goes, oh my gosh, you really think that I'm going to come through the screen and hurt you if you ask a question?
Oh no. You're like, well, I don't know. You said casual. I'm not sure.
I'm like, well, I'm trying.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, that's
Yes.
funny. That's so funny.
So, but we should jump into the Christmas movie, or the Christmas Ring. And Brendan,
Mhm.
would you like to start that discussion?
I would love to. Well, Tyler, as we've said, we are so excited for the Christmas ring. As Catherine said earlier, we are currently picking a date of when we're going to go see the movie. And this movie, just every time I see a trailer, a sneak peek, a clip behind the scenes, we both just get so excited about it. And what
Hmm.
an incredible cast. I mean, you have Jana Kramer, Benjamin Hollingsworth, Kelsey Grammer. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Just incredible folks on screen and behind. It's set between the French countryside during World War II and present day, follows the story of military widowed Vanessa in her search for a long lost family ring, an heirloom, and her chance at love when she meets antique dealer Ben Miller. So, what can you tell us about the journey of bringing this story to theaters?
Yeah. Well, I love hearing you talk about it. It makes me excited. You know, it's for those of you who listen maybe later, this is, you know, release week. The movie comes out on Thursday,
Hmm.
Mhm.
November 6th. And so it's really fun to hear people's excitement about the story because when you make
Hmm.
something like this, it's kind of so close to you for so long.
Yeah.
And then you carefully open up your hands and you go, all right, I hope you like it. And so hearing your reaction makes me really, really happy. The Christmas ring started as an idea last summer. Mom and we had some downtime and we said, well, let's just come up with a Christmas idea, like just a kind of a what if. And
Hmm.
that version of the story is a little bit different than where it ended, but it went through different channels. We had, you know, different actresses attached at different points and different, you know, producers attached at different points um and then we sort of put it aside to turn our attention to some other Karen Kingsbury stories. And then around Easter time, the idea came back. And it quickly looked like, okay, well, maybe we're going to do this movie this year. And
Mhm.
we wrote the script, she wrote the book. We kind of did this whole like, let's do it real fast. And we kind of both love working under pressure. Love like having a quick deadline just because like then I know I have to get it done. I'm not gonna go have brunch with a friend or go, hang out with. It's like, well, I'm gonna get it done. So she wrote
Yeah.
the book in 10 days, which is amazing. And we wrote the script in about a month or so. And it was an opportunity again to say, we chatted with Fathom and they had an opening slot this year. And it was sort of a conversation where they said, we don't really have a lot of Christmas stuff this year at that time. Next year's kind of full already. So if you can get it done this year, we would love to have it. And so that was our green light to go, okay, well, now we gotta wrangle the crew and rally the troops. And that was, like I said, sometime a little bit after Easter. And then by July, we were in pre-production. We shot the end of July through August. We had a 15-day shoot. So it was pretty quick for us. And yeah, and then it was just less than 2 months to edit and do our score, color correcting sound. Like it was a beast.
Wow.
It was a beast.
So yeah, you stuck with the same timeline as like a Hallmark or a GAF movie with that. And
We
were you
did.
around that same time with Someone Like You too?
No.
No, you had
Someone Like You was 25 days. Uh,
okay.
and we had 5 weeks of pre-pro. And then we had, we finished in like November of 2022. And
Mm-hmm.
then we didn't have to deliver it because the Fathom thing came towards the end of 23 or so.
Mm. Yeah, same
Um,
time.
and we had to deliver it like February of 24. So we had a lot of time with Someone Like You. And that movie, we tested it with different audiences, and Someone Like You tweaked, like it changed a little bit in the edit through our test screenings. And with The Christmas Ring,
Mm.
there really wasn't time. Like
Mm-hmm.
we did our very best to shoot a really tight script, and we basically kept looking at the pages and going, okay, this scene is good, but it doesn't really start till three-quarters of the way down. So like, let's cut this because I know we're gonna cut this in post. Like, I don't want to take time filming this. I feel like
Mm.
it's cute or it's fun, but it's not really the meat. And we always talk about the tens and the ones. So when we're
Mm.
screenwriting, we're like, is this a 10? Is this a one? Like, if it's a five, we probably should just cut it because the audience will check their phone, or that's when they're going to take a restroom break. It's like there's always a moment where an audience will excuse themselves if you give them an opportunity. Um, so we shot like a really tight script, and I think it shows. Like it came together very quick and clean because we had a very clear vision about what it needed to be, and we didn't have time to be late. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then technically the book did come first because obviously it all came from a conversations or so the was the book written and then you guys took the screenplay directly from that or do you have one version? Because I know you don't have to read the book to see the movie or vice
you
versa.
don't. Yeah, you don't. We uniquely did this in reverse. So we wrote the screenplay first, and then
Okay.
she went and wrote the book after, which was not something she had done before. But our outline was together, and we always outline together, and it kind of looks like a lot of brainstorming, throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what's exciting, what works, what doesn't. Um, so our outline was really clear, and then she was able to take the outline, and that kind of became her outline for the book, except for she could then expand emotional moments, flashbacks, whatever. There's definitely fun things that she was able to do that make the reading experience very unique for the reader.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was fun to do it in tandem, and I think I'll be curious to see how it, in the long run, when the dust of it all settles, to kind of check in and go, was that a fun way to create? Was that something that we might
Mm-hmm.
want to try again? And it's really fun. The movie comes out November 6th. The book came out October 21st. So
Mm-hmm.
to have the releases so close to each other is new for her and for what we're doing. And so we'll see. I mean, the feedback of the book has been really positive. So
Aw.
Yeah. Sorry, Brennan.
Oh, I was just going to say I think that's really just special and neat to have the book, come out and give people a couple weeks to read it, but then right after be so excited about the film. Because I'm sure, as you know, a lot of times there's book series and then years later the movies come out. But this way, this is really cool because it's almost like the story like just continues. It's like, nope, here's the book, then here's the movie. And it's just kind of one big story. Like you have the literal version and then you have the visual. So cool.
It's very cool. And you know, if people choose to see the movie first and they read the book later, like I said, it kind of just colors in the lines and it just adds a little bit more context and emotional subtext. And I think it's a pretty close translation in terms of like page and screen because we did it so close together. Whereas someone like you had been a book for a few years, it was really beloved, and it had things that we needed to cut or things we needed to change. That a lot of people didn't love or were confused by. But that's the hard thing about adapting something is what's the tens and what's the ones and what's the clearest line through the whole project, you know, that makes the audience understand what we're trying to say.
I was going to say, I mean, of course, not knowing there's way more behind the scenes than I could ever imagine. I think that this way could be the way to do especially just because, like you said, it's so hard because we know what's taken out. And when you get something added, that's that extra surprise that you didn't have. And so I purposely am not reading the book until after I see the movie this time around, because I mean, but now I know that I probably didn't have to. So that's good too.
Right. That's fun though. Like I think it makes the watching experience interesting that way, you know.
So how did you guys how did Kelsey Grammer come to be with this one? Obviously Jana and Ben are in a lot of rom-coms and romance movies, so that was that one, I mean, no casting surprise there for me on that one, but Kelsey was a surprise.
And really he was a surprise for me too. Howard Miller, Kelsey plays Ben's father in the movie, Howard Miller, and so Howard and Ben run this antique store together. So he's a very specific kind of character, and I needed somebody who demanded attention and like was captivating to watch and was warm, and someone who had endured some trials but was able to still be joyful, and somebody who understands the Christmas cheer of it all too. Like there are some wonderful actors who are great at what they do, but you don't always think of them and go, oh, they're cheery, you know, like they're great maybe in dramatic ways, or they play villains, or they're, you know. So we explored a lot of options and in conversation, just trying to figure out who that piece was. And our casting director reached out to Kelsey's team and just said, hey, we have this script and it's an indie and it may not be interesting to him, but we'd love to have him if he wants to give it a read. And that's one of those, like, he's never going to read it, you know? And he did. And I'm not sure if I just thought it was out of his wheelhouse, or something, you know. I knew that if he read it, and that's how I feel about anything that we write. I'm like, if this person would read it, I think it would touch them, it would touch their heart, and it would compel them to want to be a part of it. And he was. And so the catch with Kelsey Grammer was he loves it, he wants to do it, and he only has 3 days available to make it happen.
Okay then.
So it was like, all right, because what I love is he had a non-negotiable. It was like a Sunday night or a Monday night. He had his one of his kids' birthday parties, and he was like, I'm not missing that. Which of course, as a family business, like we love family first, like that's so important. But then he had 3 days, and then he had to fly off for a Marvel project to London. So it was like, okay, we have a little bit of time, and we did have to shuffle our schedule a little bit, which we were happy to do. But then it was like, we can't have him get sick if his flight is delayed, like if anything happens. So that became a huge prayer point, and continued, like minute by minute. It was a miracle of just like, great, we got that scene. I don't think I told many people that we had Kelsey Grammer until after we shot all of his scenes, because I was like, well, what if something happens, and what if he has to go? And that's how film is too. It's like you don't want to ever say something is real until it's like in the can. And even then it's like maybe you wait till you've edited it and it's all stitched together.
Yeah.
But he was so wonderful and he's such a professional and but he
Mhm.
didn't come in like I know everything, get out of the way. Like he really respected the process. And I remember asking him a question on the first day and he said, "Well, what do you think? Like this is your film, and so I just want to honor whatever the vision is here." And I just really I learned a lot from him about just showing up ready and showing up willing, and he
Hmm.
was so emotionally available. And some of his scenes in the movie just really stick with you because he brings so much warmth and so many layers. And there's a wonderful, powerful storyline about like family tension in this story between Ben and his father, and what to do when your pride kind of roars its head, and how to pivot from that. And the colors that Ben and Kelsey brought to those moments are really powerful to watch on screen.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. What a story. I mean, that's a testimony right there, as you were
Hmm.
It
just
is.
sharing. And Catherine and I, we both are Kelsey Grammer fans. We
Yeah.
both love the show Frasier.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I'm with Catherine on this one. Seeing that he was part of this movie was such a treat, as well as everyone else, of course. But
Sure.
I
Sure.
mean, seriously, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Kelsey in a motion picture or a story like this. So we're just so excited to see him in this role, and it sounds like it was so amazing getting to work with him.
It was. And he's I think it's a really memorable performance. And I'm
Mm.
so proud of him. And you know, I was texting him the other day, just we had a screening for a group of like 500 women got to watch the movie. And I just was like, "You're so good in it, and I'm so thankful that you got to be a part of it." And he just was like, "That warms my heart, and it was my pleasure, and it was such a joy to be a part of the set." And it made me proud that we created a culture with the help of our amazing team and with God's grace and mercy to create a culture that makes people want to be a part of it, makes people want to be there. Ben and Jana several times brought their kids on set and their spouses on set, and their kids are in a couple of like they're in one of the scenes, like, as background actors. And
Yeah.
we just love having family on set. It's like any time that couples can come work on it or families can come be a part of it. I just think it makes the experience mean so much because actors and crew, they give so much of their time. So if they can bring their family along or bring them for a day or for an hour, like, and it makes their job a little easier, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about it.
Oh, I love that. Well, essentially, it kind of is their home away from home for a
Right.
while.
Hmm.
And
Right.
how fun to get to be on a set. Oh my goodness, I would be there if I had a family member on a
Yeah.
set.
You're right. Exactly. You
It's
have
our
to want
goal.
to. You're like, come on, bring me on set.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, right.
You've been there 2 days.
Give me a call. Yeah, it's true.
Um,
It's
oh no,
really
I just
fun.
want to say that I just started tearing up when you were talking about Kelsey, just in the fact that, of course, he's not shy with his story,
Yeah.
and he really has gone through that gamut and that second chance, and that's what he's focusing on in the second part of his life.
Yep.
So it's definitely a God, like we were saying, it timing wise, but a God thing for him, I'm sure too, with just that, like, sometimes you just have those little moments that bring you to tears that you're not quite sure how and why, because it's not my
Yeah.
story, but it
Yeah.
also gives you hope if that isn't your story.
It does. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and I love that he's open to that he was open to trusting us. Like, I think anytime an actor comes on set, they're trusting the team with their career, with their
Hmm.
reputation, with their talent. And so I don't take it lightly when any actor says, "Okay, yeah, like I'll do this. I want to be a part of this project." Um, and with him, like you said, he has been through so much, but he was so open and so willing, and he has there's such a tenderness and a joy and a peace, which is just really powerful to be around. And he's a magnet for sure.
Hmm. Hey, Brendan, do you know he just had another kid? They just He and his wife just had a baby. I always like to fill Brendan in on the
Oh,
People
See,
magazine
I learned
article.
I learned everything from her. I'm sorry, Catherine. Is Tyler you did or
No,
no.
Kelsey
Kelsey did?
Grammer.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
I
that's
know.
amazing. Oh, all the babies. Let's
All
go.
the
That's
babies. I know.
incredible.
Yeah, he was so
That's
excited about that. It's
yeah.
really fun.
Oh,
That was an extra thing of why, because that is part of his story where he's talking about things he didn't do differently and having that second chance at life with a younger generation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so
wow.
I just read that article last week because it came about the same time as you guys were having your premiere.
Right.
So
Yeah. And that's why he couldn't join us in Franklin for the premiere is he, newborn baby and all of that stuff.
that wins,
That
unfortunately.
wins.
That
And it
totally
should.
wins.
And it
It
should
should
win.
win, yeah.
It should win. Yeah.
That's a
I
pretty
don't
good
know. I'd be
excuse.
like, I'll see you guys later. There's this red carpet opportunity.
I think Kelsey's like, I've been a part of too many of those red carpets.
Exactly for him, yeah.
Like, I'm good. So funny.
So speaking of bringing all that love, redemption, and faith and family and Christmas to the screen, were there specific visuals or cinematic techniques that you got to use that you were excited to use that was something new maybe for you to translate those themes to the screen?
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a fan of setting the tone through, especially with Christmas, like lighting and wardrobe and set deck. Like I had conversations with my art team and our wardrobe team just about colors.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted it to feel a little bit timeless and nostalgic. And so we really did, we kind of shied away from the brighter colors and we went with more of like the maroons and the evergreens and just being more aware of like, is this something that we think exists in this Christmas world that we've created? Like we did a lot of practical lamps and like warm lights, and we didn't do a lot of like overhead lights. We just wanted to create an atmosphere that felt cozy
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
bringing a lot of warmth. And then my DP, Matt Rogers, and I did a lot of scouting around town, looking for places and the time of day when it would be shaded because we're shooting this in the middle of summer.
Mhm.
um, so that big hurdle is that you've got that really bright, high summer sun. And we had to fight it a couple times, but for the most part, we went to places at the time of day when we wanted to shoot it and found the areas where it's casting a shade, a shadow that made it look more wintry. And so really just planning ahead and looking at some of the ways that we can have light be used to our advantage to create that winter Christmassy feel.
Mm.
Um, and then there's some fun visual things that I think if you're paying attention in terms of Vanessa and Ben's relationship, I tried to craft a lot of obstacles in between them and then they kind of peel away as they fall in love. So it could be a shopping bag that it's on the inside of them when they're walking, or maybe it's a table, or maybe it's um, you know, a railing if they're walking down a staircase and the railing's in the middle of them. So I tried to be aware of, and I talked to Jana and Ben about that too. Like, let's be aware of the obstacles that are in the way and how they peel away the closer that we get together. That was fun to play with for sure.
Oh,
Well, I
that's so
mean,
cool. Oh, go ahead,
I
Kat.
know. I'm like, no, I'm thinking I don't pay it. I mean, I usually have to watch things numerous times to catch up on everything. And then sometimes I'm proud of what I catch, but I would not think along those lines. And
Yeah.
that is amazing.
Well, and it's something that was kind of for us. It was like the audience might see it, they might not. There's a moment where Ben sort of steps up and he gets a little courageous and asks her, this big question, and he sort of crosses a line. There's a bookshelf behind them, and
Mhm.
he crosses a line where there's a bookshelf ending, and he crosses it and steps up to her. And that was kind of a moment where he's like crossing into this more serious place. And
Mm.
for us, it made these moments feel connected to something. And then if the
Mhm.
audience sees it, then they see it. But for me, it feels like that's the visual storytelling of it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I think that's really creative, Tyler, how you chose to, like you just said, use some physical objects
Yeah.
just very subtly. That way,
Yeah.
when these characters do get together, it's big and obvious and it's earned and
Yeah.
it's been waited for, and that's so cool.
Yeah, thank
Amazing.
you. Yeah, and I love getting to find a visual tool that
Mhm.
helps me tell the story, even if it's a secret. And I had one for someone like you,
Mm.
which if you watch it again, just pay attention to reflections. Um,
Okay.
I felt
Okay.
like Andy and London, being twins, were reflections of
Hmm.
each other in different ways. And so me and my DP on that film had a lot of conversations about reflections, whether it was the water with the jet ski stuff or the glass house or mirrors in the house, or so that was something that came up quite a lot that I wanted to lean into, was the reflections. And then
Hmm.
this, it was like, what's the obstacle and how do they overcome it? So it's, and
Hmm.
that stuff it's a really fun way to create.
Yes.
A side note, that house was spectacular in that movie.
Oh,
Right.
beautiful.
It's
Yes.
amazing. It's real. I mean, you can go rent it. It's in Alabama, so you can go and they've got a whole property with little cottages and then that big beautiful house, and it's pretty spectacular.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. Um, well, so we talked earlier a little bit, Tyler, about the book
Yep.
and how people who watch the movie, they don't necessarily have to read the book first.
Hmm.
But are there any, for those that have read the book, are there any like Easter eggs that like just the readers will notice in the movie?
I love that. There are a couple. One that stands out is um, the character of Hudson. He's an Army Ranger, and he's in a relationship with Vanessa's daughter, Sadie. Um, and in the book, it's really talked about more than in the movie, that he is the brother of one of Sadie's best friends, Ella, which we didn't really play up much in the movie, but there's a moment where Ella interacts with Hudson in the movie that's very sibling-like. And
Hmm.
Mm.
she kind of gives him this like goofy sibling like nod or like wink, and it's very like teasing, like picking on him kind of, because
Hmm.
he's just a, well, I don't want to spoil it, but there's been this moment, this surprise moment, and she's sort of teasing him, and it's fun because if you know, you know, like if you know that there's
Hmm.
things, and she's kind of
Mm.
egging him on, and that's a fun little Easter egg there. Um, and then another one that I really appreciated, because we had the book done, our crew could read it. And so all of our heads of department had read the book in various ways. You know, we didn't test them and be like, make sure you read the book. But our our costume designer, Tess Nelson, she came up to me and she was like, I had bought Sadie a purple dress for the dance at the end, but I was reading the book that it's a blue dress, and I want to go find one that matches the book. And I was like, oh, that's so great. Like, and I would have been okay either way. Like, I would have
Hmm.
been, I'm always respectful of the costumer's vision and how we get to work together to find it. But I just love that she cared about those little details that a reader would be like, but wait, Sadie's dress was blue, you know. Um,
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
so some, I mean, you'll see that there's other little things that if you know, you know, which is fun.
Aw, that is so fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
So we talked a little bit about the music, but what role does music play in capturing this blend for you of your faith, hope, and heart? And then is the soundtrack something that you imagine, or is that one of those two things that I know you, and I know you collaborate with somebody pretty dang good
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
who has a father who is very well known to.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, another Tyler Michael Smith,
Yeah.
composed Someone Like You, and then we got to have him again for this one, for the Christmas Ring.
Mhm.
And what was really cool this time is I had many conversations with Tyler before we started filming. You know, we had creative music conversations about just the script, and he was sending me themes based on what he was reading in the script alone. Music to me is so important, and some directors it's not. Some directors it's like, oh shoot, we need to do the music. Like it's a last
Yeah.
minute kind of a thing.
Mhm.
But I write to music. You know, when I'm screenwriting, it's like I set the stage. I gotta make sure the mood is right. And in the screenplay, I'll write in music that they're listening to or music that might be playing during that scene. And so I just think I mean, you two get it. Like you understand how when the music swells in a perfect way during that big speech or in that big final kiss moment, like it moves you because music is universal and it's just a beautiful way to tell the story. And so, um, so yeah, I mean, I think music is the golden thread that stitches the story together and connects the hearts of the audience to the heart of the story. So Tyler's incredible, and he's crafted so many amazing themes for this movie. And we got to just talk about the sound of Christmas and like what Christmas feels like and what our Christmas world feels like in the Christmas ring. And that soundtrack's I think his score is coming out. Hopefully by the end of the week, the score will be out so people can listen to it.
Good.
Because it's really festive and it's just fun to put on and have in the background. And then we've got some great songs that are Christmas classics. You know, we've got some Frank Sinatra in the movie, and we've got a Dan and Shay Christmas song, and one of our actresses, Jessie James Decker. This is her first movie. She's not done a film before, but she auditioned for our film and she earned it, and she's really, really great in it. And we have one of her Christmas songs in it. And so music to me is like, I think one day I'd love to do a big movie musical because I think music is just such a important part of storytelling. And I think you'll see it plays a big part in the Christmas Ring too.
I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna flat out say, where you are in the community, it'd be a darn shame if you didn't do a music a music scene. I mean,
true.
hello.
I'm surrounded by so many amazing
Yeah.
musical people. So yeah,
I have
think
a
it's
few
a matter of
dollars I'll
time.
put in for that. That's about all I can afford, but I'm in.
I love it. I'll take it. Let's start the fundraiser now.
Yes,
There we go.
we are
I
in,
mean,
Tyler. We love our musicals. We
Yes.
love music.
Good.
We pay attention to that. So
Yeah, good.
very
Yeah, it's
exciting.
important.
and when you were talking about the scores, that's actually one of the things that's been really fun with like One Calls the Heart is
Yeah.
that you like there is specific scores that are for that character or whatever. And you'll see a scene and then somebody be like, "Did you guys catch that?" And there's that one little note that's different, but that for whatever purpose that is bringing for that one note. And it's just like our ears are just as visual without being
Right.
visual.
Right? It's
So,
true. Yeah. Yeah, it's so important. I love that. I think it's a beautiful element to the story for sure.
yeah.
So Tyler, do you have a favorite soundtrack, a favorite movie soundtrack?
Oh man, what a great question. I love the score for I do love the holiday. Like I think what
Yes.
Hans Zimmer
Oh,
did in the
Oh,
holiday is
good.
really
It's one of my
special.
favorites.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just it has so many emotions and it just feels evergreen, you know. It's like
Yeah.
it's always emotional and I'll write to the holiday soundtrack a lot. I also in a totally different tone. I love the score for The Village, which is a
Oh,
bit more of
yeah.
like a thriller movie, you know.
Love
Oh,
Tyler. I love The Village.
yeah.
It's so good.
That
It's one
one
of
still
my top
scares me,
10
and I know the
movies.
story.
Yeah, it's in like my top 10 films. It's a beautiful movie and it has some uh not I don't know, darker-ish elements, but I think it's really a beautiful example of how perfect love casts out fear
Yes.
and how we can conquer our fear through the love that we have in our heart. And the score in that, it's like lots of beautiful strings and just beautiful melodies. So those are those are two of my favorites, I think.
Oh, those are two great ones. I'm right there with you. So
Yeah.
good.
Do you two have others that you like?
I think for me, I mean, I listened to the Titanic soundtrack for
Yes.
an insane. I mean,
Good.
and honestly, my all-time favorite are Michael W. Smith's. His every time I put on the first note of, and I cannot remember what the first two instrumental ones that he did, but I put that note on just in YouTube in the background, and it's just like this piece, even though sometimes it could be just like bang bang bang, and I'm like, what the heck, and just put that on and it brings me back to
That's awesome.
yeah. I love it. So when he did instrumental, I was beyond excited.
Yeah. Brandon, what about you?
You know, The Lord of the Rings is another one where that music is just so beautiful. And that's another one where it's so intentional. You know, you can tell when the story is in The Shining, and you can tell when the story is at the Two Towers, or just so every time I watch that movie, I love the music.
That's awesome.
Or
Yeah.
those movies, I should say.
Yeah.
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 All right, now favorite Christian musician.
Favorite Christian musician.
Let's narrow it down. No.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta narrow it down to, man, such a good question as well. I think it changes all the time, but
Yeah.
I go back and listen to Casting Crowns a lot, which is like a big
Yeah.
Mhm.
throwback, but I love the truth of Casting Crowns and just their heart for people and for music.
Mhm.
Phil Wickham,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I think maybe one of my ultimate is Corey Asbury.
Oh yeah.
And he's had such a wonderful and like transparent journey with his faith, and I just love how honest he is, and he's he just has like a really beautiful way with words, and he has a song called Water and Dust, and it says we're one part water and one part dust, but you're still making trophies out of us. And
Mhm.
just this, he just has a lot of beautiful lyrics like that they always just bless me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Aw,
I agree. It's
wonderful.
changing all the time. I was
Mm.
really with for King and Country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no song can be done wrong, but now it's these ones that just pop up, especially around depression and anxiety.
Mhm.
And like, and those words always just, we have KTIS here. That's our big
Okay.
station. And they play, I'm telling you, it plays when you need it. But there's been some that, oh, of course, I can't remember the names, but there's some of them where I'll just sit there and Brandon Lakes for sure.
Yes.
When that one, Holly, what's it?
Hard
Earned
fought hallelujah.
hard fight,
Yeah.
hallelah. I'm
Yeah.
like screaming that in the car,
Yeah.
and I'm like, when you hear, like you're saying the same thing as you're seeing yourself on screen, when you're hearing yourself on the radio too, and knowing that
Yeah.
you're not alone, that's
Yes.
just,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Mandisa always put out beautiful music about, overcoming depression and overcoming, difficult things. And she passed away, and she
Yeah.
was she was a friend of our families and a friend of so many people here in town. And we put one of her Christmas songs in the movie. Um,
Oh my
so that's like a fun little
goodness.
tribute to Mandisa, and I love that her music just will continue to bless people, in
Yeah.
particular people who are in their dark times. Like they can
Mm.
turn on that song, like Overcomer, or
Yeah.
some of her songs that really bless people in the same way that like Hard Fought Hallelujah. Like what
Yeah.
an important reminder and an important charge to praise the Lord through it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same with Danny Goki with his story
Yes.
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
And then for me, oh shoot, it was really good too. It'll come back. Brandon, what's your favorite one?
My
Who do you
favorite
listen
one,
to the most? Yeah.
oh my goodness. I have so many. I still, when I was in high school, I had so many of the Wow hits
Yeah.
CDs. Do you both
Yeah.
remember that? And
Oh
I
yeah.
Mhm.
now I listen to everything on Spotify, but they're all still on there. So a lot of
Wow.
times I'll just kind of play all of those through, and it's really special because it brings me back to, oh, this is what I listened to in high school, and so much of
Yeah.
that still, it still affects me and applies to my life and my faith now. And I mean, those songs, they're just timeless, these
Right.
artists, and then of course new stuff I hear is always incredible.
So
But
good. Yeah.
I'm a very nostalgic person, so
Me
I
too. I think like that nostalgia, it makes me so, aren't you just grateful to have been raised with that music, to look back at high
Mhm.
school
Mhm.
or middle school or
Yeah.
however far back and go, I'm so
Mhm.
thankful that those songs helped shape me and that those songs became memories and moments.
Mhm.
And I think it's such a gift to be able to look back and see where God was, even in our playlists, even in our
Mm.
CDs.
Yeah. And we're
Yes.
so far off the, well, not far off the topic because we're talking about God, but You Wouldn't Cry for Me. That was the one with
Oh yeah.
Mandisa that I,
Mm.
above all, and I appropriately heard it, I think, on the way to a funeral. And I flat out
Oh
told everybody, play that at my funeral
yeah.
because that's the reminder that I
It's a
need at every
reminder.
funeral.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mhm.
No, but the other one was that I was gonna quickly mention too, just because we're living and this is a whole different avenue, but we are living in end days. I don't think that's a
Mhm.
surprise for Christian and believers. And the DC talk still,
Mm.
the one where they're sitting in a chair and they're talking about the rapture. And of course, immediately, I can't think of what the title of the song is. I pop that on, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, just that reminder of not wanting to be left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
gosh, we should do a
Oh,
total hour someday on music.
Yeah, we
oh,
could. There's so much good music chatter.
Yeah.
so good. I love that you mentioned DC Talk, Catherine, because that was one of mine.
Yeah,
Time is ticking away. Tick, tick, ticking
love
away.
it. Yeah, it's like I love that Jesus Freak album. It still is something I put on all
Yeah.
the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that
Hmm.
song "In the Light," such a reminder. I want to be
Mm-hmm.
in the light.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the
Yes.
light. So
So
good.
good.
Well, we have a few more questions to wrap
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
Let's quickly talk. You also co-written. Did you do some directing for A Thousand Tomorrows?
I didn't know, but I was a co-writer on that.
Writer. Okay.
Mm.
So currently available on Netflix. What was that journey like to, or the excitement? Because obviously it's been on PureFlix, but to
Yep.
go to mainstream like that is another
Yeah.
God thing.
It's another God thing, and that was something that we hadn't really heard a lot about A Thousand Tomorrows recently. I That came out
Mm-hmm.
last year as well. Last year was a big year with A Thousand Tomorrows and the Baxters and Someone Like You, but A Thousand
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrows was so well received on PureFlix. It was such a beautiful um just a beautiful light there, and the audience really embraced it. And Rose Reed and Colin Ford did such a great job bringing those characters to life. But I felt really disconnected from it because we had written it, and then
Mm-hmm.
we weren't a part of the production at all. And they had invited us to set, but I was directing a musical in town, and I couldn't get to set, so I didn't really see it until it was out. It was sort of like, okay, and here it is, and
Mm-hmm.
and then things kind of ebb and flow. And earlier, I guess earlier this summer or towards the middle of summer, we had been told that Netflix is potentially, putting A Thousand Tomorrows up on the platform. And it's one of those things where you go, that would be amazing, but who knows if that's going to happen? Who knows if that's going to come through? And it did happen, and we watched it enter the top 10 of all TV
Mm-hmm.
shows in the US, and then enter the top five. And I think it reached like the top three at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just only the Lord could orchestrate that, like a show that has been out somewhere else, for it to feel brand new, for an audience to experience it for the first time. And there were so many people who had never seen it. And I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what their walk with the Lord is, but to watch this show about this man giving everything for this woman he loves, and her, leading his heart to the feet of Jesus, like such there's so much beauty there, even in the pain, and there's a lot of pain that people are dealing with now. So I think it resonated with people in a way that we weren't expecting. And I think only God can take a show that some might say, well, that's an old show, but make it feel new, and bring it to a new audience. And so we were so shocked, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful for PureFlix and for their belief in the show. And then I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful for their willingness and openness to letting Netflix, take it, and Netflix's willingness to elevate it, and God just really did a beautiful thing with that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. I am very excited to watch this series. I apologize, Tyler. I have not watched it yet,
No,
but I
you're
am very
fine.
excited to watch it.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's like we got to really dig into the world of bull riding and barrel
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
racing, and
Yeah.
um and I would love to do more seasons of that, So I think
Mhm.
that
Mm-hmm.
conversation opened up because it was on Netflix and it had a lot of attention and people watching it. So we might see more A Thousand Tomorrows, but you never know.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, and that's how I
hope
actually
so.
found out that it was based off of just Facebook does all those things where it just gives you what's like news coming based on your
Yeah,
algorithm, and
right.
Netflix is one of them. And I saw that, and then immediately the comments I saw were, "Is there going to be more?" And when you're
Yeah.
seeing, "Is there going to be more?" then you're just like
Okay.
you're just like, once again, like the weeks where you're adding weeks into right now. Can you remind us, how long is there a timetable for the Christmas Ring right now in theaters?
Yeah, so we're our limited run is 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
So starting November 6th, we're in theaters for 2 weeks, as a sort of our starting point, which is awesome.
Yeah. So starting point, and I like that word starting point, because that's what it's going to be.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you. Very kind. You're so kind.
Well, let's finish up on a few questions about you for what inspired you to get into directing, and was there one movie specifically for you that you're like, this is it, this is what I want?
Oh man. I think the earliest memory of like a movie that really blew me away, and this idea of, you know, movie magic and transporting you, like it's just Wizard of Oz was mine, and just what they were able to do even now as an adult watching Wizard of Oz and going, they made that in the 30s. Like that's so much artistry and commitment to excellence. And so that movie really was a sort of a core movie for me in terms of wanting to be a part of making films. And as I got older, like I think sometime in high school, I watched The Village, which ironically, like that movie and what M. Night did with that movie was very inspiring in terms of storytelling, surprising the audience, really brave and courageous lead characters, and being able to, I haven't dove into like thriller, and I don't know that I will in the way that he has, but that certainly is a movie that I was like, man, what a great vision for a director to have. And he's such a clear, he knows what he wants, even if people don't get it or don't like it. Like he knows what he wants as a creator, as a director. And that's inspiring to me too.
Yes.
And of course, I mean, we're on a rom-com podcast. So I grew up watching so many, like my mom, I have four brothers and an older sister, but mom and Kels always kind of got to win what movie we were watching. And so I grew up watching so many Gary Marshall movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I read his memoir earlier this year, and it was so moving. And I felt like even though he's passed on, it felt like he was mentoring me and like teaching me about movie making. And
Wow.
so like Runaway Bride is a like a top tier rom-com for me.
Yeah.
Raising Helen is like a top tier rom-com for me. So I think those kind of stick out as influential films.
Oh, amazing. Those are good
Look
ones.
at you. You're answering the questions at the end.
Oh,
awesome.
Good.
No, I think that's fantastic. Because I was like, I obviously he's going to have a rom-com, but I'm kind of like, sometimes people are like, can we include like, it's like when you say, oh, what's that movie? Is a Christmas movie. Why is that totally escaping me? Die Hard. Yeah. You're just like, I really don't count it as one, but you can count it as one if you like.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
I guess. I don't know that I counted as one either, but
but no, and for me, my favorite rom-com is While You Were Sleeping. And I cannot watch that enough. And I say it on every podcast, but it's literally, it was more than just Bill and Sandra. It was that family unit. And then, how much like the side characters were, that they just made the movie.
Yes, I know. And that's so, that's such an important part of any good movie, but rom-coms especially. You think about some of your favorite rom-coms, and it's some of those side characters, some of those one-liners, or like I love the dude at the hospital. He's like, "Holy buckets, Peter. Moving on to greener pastures," There's just always those funny little things that stick with you. And I wanted to try and copy it in this movie, and we didn't have time, but like the paper boy throws the paper and his bike like falls, those quirky little things are always just really memorable.
Just so you know, we love leaning. So if there's a way to, incorporate leaning,
it's in there.
Oh, yay!
Just wait for the bookstore. It's coming.
Oh, Tyler, you just know what your viewers want.
I know, it's leaning. It's like, and then Joe Jr. says, it looked like he was leaning.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll see it. We got some leaning in the movie for sure.
Oh,
bless you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Got to give the people what they want,
You're delivering.
Yeah.
So, we just have a few quick little questions, but before we finish with that, Brennan, do you have one last question?
Tyler, do you have a favorite Christmas movie besides The Christmas Ring?
Besides The Christmas Ring, I'm sort of a sucker for White Christmas.
Yeah.
As far as just when I think of like some of the older classic movies, White Christmas is like it always makes me laugh. It always makes me cry at the end when he realizes that they've surprised him and
Mm-hmm.
they sing the song to him, and it's just a sweet like it's a musical, which is great. So that one stands out for sure.
Yes.
Newer Elf is like the new classic, you know.
Oh,
I love
Mm-hmm.
Elf. I love
so
the
good.
yeah, the
Love.
romance in Elf, the family dynamics, like
Yeah,
it's just a really I watch it multiple times for sure.
I do too.
Also,
You don't get tired of it.
all of my answers today have been more than one answer, which
No, this
means
is
that I have
great.
a
That's
hard like
great.
I can't decide, you know, there's too many good
This
ones.
is this is what we want. This is how
Yes.
you meet and learn about
That's
people,
right.
you know,
That's
like
right. Yeah.
that's why
Exactly.
it's like notes, schmotes, they're over here. Uh, so favorite, I will just it was a really quick, fast pace for the favorite holidays. So you actually take as much time as you want to, but favorite holiday meal item?
Oh man.
Cookies.
Um
No.
favorite I mean, I do like Christmas cookies. I like can eggnog count?
Totally.
Eggnog
Yeah.
definitely can
Hmm.
count.
Yeah.
I
You're the
started
first
making
person I know who likes it.
I started making eggnog 2 years ago.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
So I make it every year, and it's just kind of
Oh.
like a nice little treat that it's kind of rich. You know, you don't have it all the time, but
Mhm.
I will say eggnog is like solid.
Yeah.
And you can't go wrong with turkey and cranberries.
Can't go wrong.
I,
Can't go
I
wrong.
agree with you
Wise
on that.
choice.
Yeah.
Favorite Christmas decoration from childhood that you maybe still have?
Oh man. I have a replica of one from childhood.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
My parents had it's a Santa kneeling at the manger. It's like a porcelain kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Santa kneeling at the manger with baby Jesus in there. And my brother found one on eBay and got it for
Mm,
me for Christmas like 5 or 6 years ago. And so I put that out every year, and it's nostalgic because we had it growing up, and
mm-hmm.
he got me one of my own for my own house. And so that's really special that I hope to treasure and pass down to hopefully one day when I have kids of my own, you know.
Mm-hmm. Favorite Christmas carol.
Ooh, good one.
Oh, how can I pick just one?
You
Uh,
can't.
you can't, it's impossible. Um,
I'm not going to say who sings it. I mean, because you have lots of
yeah.
options then.
Do you mean like a traditional
Yeah,
Christmas
I
carol?
guess we'll go with the traditional one. Yeah.
I mean, I think "Oh Holy Night."
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler, that's
Um,
mine.
is it? Oh,
Hmm.
Yeah.
it's so
It's mine
good.
too. Yeah.
Every version, any version, it just it's uplifting and convicting. And I
Mm-hmm.
think uh, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. It just
Mm-hmm.
encompasses the whole message of Christmas that now our souls and our lives have worth and meaning
Mm-hmm.
because of what Jesus did. And it just always gets me every time I hear it.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. And David Phelps is maybe one of my favorite version. I'm a big
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard his version
Oh,
in a
David Phelps.
long
I don't know if I
time.
have either. Okay.
check it out.
New Catherine, you gotta
Okay.
listen.
Yep, that's your
Well,
homework.
we're on it. I was gonna
Okay.
say, one of my favorite CDs, and I'm so sad I cannot find it. They did this as a tour. It was Amy Grant, Michael W. Smith, Sandy
Mm.
Patty, Larnell Harris, Point of Grace. It was Emmanuel.
Mm.
Oh,
And it
yes.
was a musical telling of the story and the life of Jesus.
Oh,
Mhm.
beautiful.
And let's see, I had to have been middle school or high school when it came out. And that is one that if every time I find it in some sort of like online search, because you can't, I don't even know where my CDs are for that
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
It's just like right, it brings you back. But I absolutely love the fact that it has the Bible verses rolled into it, and that you're starting from why he came to why he died.
It's beautiful.
And yeah, I those are what I there that could be your musical movie.
There you go. You're
Just
right.
Yes.
That's
life of
true.
Jesus.
What's fun is like, you know, with all these amazing people in Nashville who are musical, like
Hmm.
Amy Grant, you know, folks who live here. We got to have Debbie Winans in the movie, and she's younger
Yes.
sister to Cece Winans. And
Hmm.
Debbie's an amazing vocalist, and her version of "Oh Holy Night" is in the credits of our movie. And
Wow.
I will say it's just worth it to sit through the whole credits just to hear her version of that song and just to usher that message into your heart this Christmas season.
Mhm.
I think if you stick around for the credits, you're in for a treat because she's great in the movie and she's such a great actress and such a natural but of course to hear her sing at the end, to hear that track, it shines and it's really powerful.
Well, we definitely promise we will. And
We will.
yeah, the movie comes out. Unfortunately, I'm out of town. Otherwise, I would have answered my own question of I will be there on the 6th. So we're going the 11th or the 12th.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. That's so
We can't
exciting. Yeah,
wait
I think I'm going like 3 times this weekend. So I have
Perfect.
like all these friends from different circles who are like, I want to go with you. I want to go with you. I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome.
So because you had your event at your red carpet at the Franklin Theater, will it play it, or does it only do specialty?
They only do specialty films. They don't really do like current theatrical run films. So they do
Okay,
a
I
lot of
couldn't
old
remember.
films and yeah, but the AMC locally and the Regal
Hmm.
is playing it locally, and so there's lots of opportunity for me to bounce around town and see it with all my friends. And it's
And
one
not
of those
them being
movies
like,
that,
you again.
yeah,
As you
exactly.
walk in.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
and I think I'm excited to share it with an audience who doesn't know me really, even though I'll be with
yeah.
friends, but just to be because I think Christmas is so special and
Mhm.
it gives you all of these wonderful, nostalgic, exciting feelings. And this movie, um, I think really captures that. And I think the audiences are in for a treat when they sit down and watch The Christmas Ring. It's gonna touch
Well,
them
we
and
will
all feel.
definitely be,
Oh.
oh, sorry. We'll definitely be following along your social media, and we can't wait to see if you walk out with a few 6 feet posters.
Yes, to be determined. To be
You'll
determined.
just have Ben and Jana right
Yeah, it's
behind
just
you
like
across the
Yes.
wall.
Yeah.
all across. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Podcast take 2.
Yeah,
Exactly. New
totally.
background.
I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
well, thank you for spending this time with us. This has been a wonderful delight and a blessing for me
Mhm.
personally. So thank
Oh,
you so
you're
much,
so
Tyler.
welcome.
It
Y'all are
has. Thank
so
you,
kind.
Tyler.
Thanks so much for having me. And I hope we can do it again sometime.
Yes,
Anytime.
absolutely. This was such a joy. Yes, please.
So fun.
Yes,
Can I say a prayer for y'all before we go?
Sure.
I don't
absolutely.
know if you have to do like a closing thing, I
Oh,
don't know.
no.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, cool. God, I thank you so much for Catherine and Brendan. I thank you for their hearts, and I thank you for just the joy that you've given them, and for the opportunity to be a part of their show. Thank you for who they are, and I pray you would give them vision and wisdom as they continue this podcast, and that you would bring people in their circle who would connect them and support them and encourage them along the way. And I know that this is just one facet of their life. So whatever else they have going on right now, whether it's work or family or relational things, I just pray that you would give them peace and rest, and that this would just be a beautiful start to the Christmas season. That we would be able to be still and reflect you to the world around us. I just pray that you bless them on their travels as they come and go, and that we would just honor you in all that we do. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
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 Wow. Thank you,
Amen.
Tyler. It's so
Oh,
kind of
thanks.
You're
you.
so welcome. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Absolutely.
Quick
It was.
question. Do you have a specific picture you'd like us to use for the little visual that we put in?
Um, yeah, do you usually like a headshot? Like just me?
Yeah,
Or do
we
you want
usually
like,
do a headshot, or if you got something fun, or like if you carrying a Christmas tree, we can do that
well,
too.
I have pictures from being on set with Ben and Jana or people
Oh,
on
okay.
set I could send you. I mean, I'll send you some options and then you can
Okay,
decide what
sounds good.
works.
And I know you had asked, because I leave Wednesday,
Yeah.
I'll put it up tomorrow. So
Oh,
what
wow,
I
that's so
do is
fast.
I just take some clips from
Yeah.
what we've talked about, and thankfully, because we just do one swoop edit, unless we really screwed up, we're good to
Yeah.
go.
Okay,
We
great.
try to be truthfully who we are.
Right. I mean, like
We
you're like,
do.
this is the conversation. So here you go.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Great.
but yeah, I am to the point where I'm like, so next time I come to Franklin, I'll give you a call, Tyler. This has
Hey,
been
yeah,
great.
that sounds like a plan.
Mhm.
That sounds like a plan.
Well,
Well, I
thank you
appreciate it.
again.
Thanks so much. And they were such great questions, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of what y'all are doing. So anytime you let me know.
Oh, thank you,
Absolutely.
Tyler. We
Yeah.
Okay.
appreciate you.
Yeah. All right.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good night.
Okay.
You
Bye. Good night.
too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
You too. Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah,
just something magical and special about that place.
it's very special. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
thankful to be here for sure. Have you been here, Brennan?
I have not. It's on my list.
Okay.
It's on my list. I've heard so many wonderful things about it. So you
It's
guys are
great. And we
doing
have so many wonderful like Hallmark and Lifetime and Great American folks here. And so it's been fun to connect with other actors and be, just kind of see them around town, which has been cool. You'll appreciate I pulled out my Christmas movie mug.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
I've got like
Yes!
some of my
Okay, so who do
favorites.
you all have on there? I see
So
Elle.
I've got like While You Were Sleeping,
Yes.
Okay.
Miracle on 34th Street, Elf, Miracle on 34th Street again, While You Were Sleeping again, The Holiday,
Yes.
Home Alone 2,
Yes.
Preacher's Wife.
Oh, so good.
Well, here's the thing is you haven't even like hit the surface then of anything Hallmark or GAF or anything like that. Just what you're just doing the regular,
Right. And
every
there's
day
so
what we
many
see on here.
wonderful, other films which I don't know if you have seen Maggie's Christmas. I feel like we're talking before we're recording, but Maggie's Christmas Miracle. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was the first film that I had written that was made into a movie like in 2017. And it was so fun to go on set for that one. And we went up to Vancouver with Luke McFarlane was in it and Jill Wagner. And that one's such a special one to watch every year. It's like, I think just because it was the first one that I wrote too, that you're kind of a part of and you get to see it come to life. And so that was a really cool experience. And then of course The Bridge, which I love. I worked on that film right after college. So I called the producers. I was like, hey mom, give me a producer's number. I want to come work on the set. And I called the producer and I was like, anything you need, like what can I do? How can I learn? I just want to be around there. And I ended up kind of becoming like a shadow assistant to the director, Mike Roll, who's amazing. And he taught me so much and was like, can you hold this? Can you go do that? Oh, could you guys, could you get us coffee? And I was down for whatever because I just got to be there and learn and experience it. It was really awesome. John Tinker's like John Tinker was the showrunner for When Calls the Heart.
He was the showrunner, for 2 seasons.
Yeah. And John's he's a good friend of ours too. But I don't know if Mike may have directed When Calls the Heart.
That's such
so
a
neat.
small world.
That's neat. You have a When Calls connection.
Yeah.
That's our favorite show, Tyler. So we'll talk about When Calls all day long.
Okay, great. And admittedly, I'm not as deep in the When Calls lore as probably y'all are, but I've heard,
What are your questions? I'm just kidding.
You're like, you could go on and on. No, I think it's amazing.
Well, I'm hanging out with the Mountie this week, so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's definitely they're on their 13th season, which is amazing.
It's amazing, and that's such a testament to fans. Like, I think when you see, I think fans is a funny word, but just like the supporters and the people who are so loyal to those stories. When things get renewed or like they come back every year, every season, it's such a testament to their loyalty. And shows and movies and books, like they don't exist without the fans' fervor and joy and excitement. And so watching When Calls the Heart just like skyrocket year after year, it's really, as a fellow creative, I'm such a fan of seeing them succeed and seeing them blaze a trail where you see people doing it and it's working and it's resonating with the audience. And I think that's what every creative wants, is something that resonates with an audience and gives them hope and joy and a story that they can't look away from. They can't wait till the next episode. They can't wait till the next moment. And that's what it feels like with the When Calls the Heart community. It's just everyone's captivated.
Yeah.
Oh, you said it exactly right, Tyler.
Yeah.
10 episodes is not enough. We're 12. We're at 12. Never mind. We're at 12, but that's still
not
enough.
enough.
Never. Yeah. It's never enough, right?
Never enough. Oh, but you're right. We had a whole interview without an introduction.